Short episode today, just a weekend. Again, I don't try to do the weekends, but I noticed that if I don't do any episodes at all on the weekend, then people get out of the habit. And actually just a 5 or 6 minute episode is kind of fun to do. It was an article in the March issue of Men's Health, which I get. It was talking about hobbies and strangely no mention of sports card collecting, which was very disappointing. The feature was Nick Offerman, who was talking about woodworking, and then there was a guitar guy, an origami guy, a beer brewer, and then they mentioned photography, sculpting, glass blowing, hot sauce making, car restoration, barbecuing, soap making, bread baking, stand-up comedy, magic, bird watching, astronomy, fly tying, sketching, ballroom dancing, podcasting, or anything else. So they mentioned a number of them. First, thanks to the sponsors who believe that this is, as I titled, the best hobby. Topps Panini Upper Deck, Heritage Auctions, Huggins & Scott Auctions, Mike Stadium Sports Cards, Burbank Sports Cards, Beckett Media, Beckett Grading, Beckett Authentication, and ComC.com. We all believe in hobby. But what would be the best hobby? Again, didn't even make the list with Men's Health, which is very disappointing. So I don't know that you wrote those down, but let me just tell you why I think we've got the best hobby. First of all, and many of those that were listed there, there's a physical element to it. Why that's important is there's a show and tell. It's a hobby that it's easy to show people and tell people what you love and what you have. Second, the availability. Some of those hobbies are not as available. Card collecting is pretty much always there, whether it's in a closet, in a drawer, on the wall. You can tap into it at any time of the day or night or any time of the year. Does it require a lot of space? Do you have to go somewhere? Well, not necessarily, and hopefully not too much of a space requirement. But again, it depends on the way you would do it. Is it very time consuming? Well, it can be, but it doesn't have to be. There's an off season. If you're mainly a basketball collector, there's a ebb and flow of the season. You can even, there's as many of the stories and some of the people that I interview for the podcast, you can see most people took a hiatus. I mean, they took a break from collecting. And so it's a very easy hobby. The reason the best hobby, you can take a break and then come back to it. Another aspect of a hobby that would be great would be, is there insider knowledge? Well, if there's insider knowledge that is absolutely required or you're lost, that's bad. But if there's insider knowledge that's helpful, that allows you to get an edge, that's good. Too much insider knowledge and it's too baffling for somebody to get up to speed. I think our hobby has just the right amount. If you can get up to speed, as I've said, I am one of several podcasts out there, many podcasts that are very helpful to give you background on what to collect and how to collect. And so I strongly encourage you to tap into the resources of publications, go into shows, hanging out with collectors, or go visiting your local card shop, which nowadays might be virtual, but doing that. There's a lot of knowledge there, and most of the ones I know, certainly our sponsors, are extremely helpful and want you to enjoy it. Last two that are reasons why I think this is the best hobby is that I don't know any hobby that's more fun or can be more profitable. I think you can be profitable on a level that's enjoyable. Certainly lately that's the case, but you get out what you put into it. And if you are tracking with sports that you love anyway, even though they're not playing now, when they do get playing, that's part of the fun of tracking the sport and then tracking the cards that go with it. The profitability, again, hopefully that's it's not your number one reason, but it sure has been some frosting on the cake for the past while here. So hope that continues. And even if it doesn't continue at the same level, I still think we have the best hobby in the world. So all these others, I don't know. I don't think it was a tongue-in-cheek article, but again, I think baseball card collecting, sports card collecting, football, basketball, hockey, even NASCAR is golf. All of those collecting assets. Keep it in perspective, and you're an enthusiast, not an addict. Have fun with it. I sure have for a whole lifetime, and look forward to many more years of enjoying it. I hope you do too. So again, we got the greatest hobby in the world. Thanks sponsors. Thanks listeners. Continue to enjoy.